Want to gain more stamina but don't want to lose any muscle gains? Watch this.
Daniel from Georgia.
What's going on, Daniel? How can we help you?
Hey guys, first off, thanks for having me on. So, high level overview, sort of headline here is how do I increase my VO2 max while having a nuclear metabolism and not sacrificing gains? So, the context here, like I grew up, Sal, probably very similar to you, like long distance runner, very skinny, like strong wind. There goes Dan. And found strength training and was able to pack on a bunch of muscle, and now I've been going through MAPS Anabolic, which is awesome. But I've worn a wrist worn heart rate monitor for the last 7 years, whether it's Fitbit or Garmin or Whoop or whatever. And I've noticed with weight gain and strength gains, VO2 max going down and resting heart rate going up and trending in a way that I don't like. So I'm curious if you guys have any tips or tricks on how to do that while not sacrificing, mass and strength gains in the gym.
Dan, any particular reason why you want, other than just having a better VO2 max? Do you have anything specific why you want to improve that?
No, it's more of just like a longevity thing. Like I'm a big fan of like Dr. Peter Attia and some of his research on VO2 max being a sort of all-cause mortality reduction and closely followed by strength. So want to make sure that I can, be capable in any scenario that I encounter.
Got it.
But I'm not like a professional athlete or anything.
Didn't you poke holes the other day in the Peter Attia thing?
It was a little extreme, but okay, here's the deal. You said something that I like. You want to be ready for whatever, right? So you kind of want to be fit overall. You're noticing that you're losing some stamina because you're not focusing on it. That's totally normal. And you don't want to lose your gains or do too much to the point where you start to lose muscle and strength. Your best bet is, sprints or sprint type activities. So you could do like high intensity interval training style workouts a couple days a week. Will do a good job of maintaining a decent VO2 max, but it's more like resistance training than long distance, steady state type cardio type training. So sprints are really good on a bike or
hills.
on hills or running. Intervals with a jump rope where you're doing lots of speed, or intervals on a rower. These are short bouts. The total session would be 20 minutes maybe, or 30 minutes at the most, with these bouts of maximal exertion for 30 seconds, and then you slow down and wait for your heart rate to drop back down and then repeat it. And this is a great way to build stamina in a way that is more muscle friendly than doing an hour or more of kind of steady state type of training.
I want to point out too that increasing your VO2 max is something you could do pretty quick too, though. So like
it responds real quick.
Yeah, like in a week. So you could literally improve it that fast. So I see lots of different things that we can do here. We can take the advice that you were saying, Sal, or you can interrupt your strength training every 4 weeks or so with a week of really pushing on the cardio and trying to get the VO2 back up. I mean, there's nothing that says that he's not going to lose all his muscle in 1 week.
No.
So you're not going to. It's not going to, and it'll probably benefit you somewhat in your strength training. So if you just want to, so I don't do anything. I'm not like this hard up on my VO2 max, but I'll run the mile, and I am probably not as frequent as every month, but I like to get on there every couple months to make sure I can do it. And all I'm really trying to do is say, hey, I want to be able to, if I need to turn it on for a mile, I can get after it and keep my mile time under, say, 8 minutes.
In case the coppers get you.
Well, no, I mean, actually for the exact reason that Daniel's saying, like, I agree. I want, I want to be able to still get up there and move and do those things. I think there's tremendous benefit as we age to still be able to do that stuff. And I just don't want to lose it. But I also care more about being stronger and building muscle. And I tend to lean more that way. But then what I'll do is I'll just, every month or two, get on there and make sure that I can get that mile time under 8 minutes. If I can't, then, for a week or so, I'll train it, get after it, and get it back down.
Yeah, I always consider this too, just for athletic purposes and wanting to move quickly and to be able to maintain that ability. So that's something I'll cycle this back in. And to Sal's point, doing a little bit more anaerobic type cardio, where I'm doing it in bursts, because to me, it's always translated more to things that I'm more interested in doing, and having those abilities to be more explosive. I want to train that. So, and it will help, in terms of like increasing that VO2 max. You'll get the benefit of that as well.
It's a great program, Daniel. I know you're doing MAPS Anabolic, but have you tried MAPS Strong?
I haven't yet.
Yeah.
No.
Dude,
work sessions are amazing.
MAPS Strong is incredible. The work sessions are focused on improving your work capacity, and there's carries and sleds, and you're doing AMRAP session. I mean, it definitely gets your heart rate up. I loved that program. And remember, consider, when we wrote the program with Robert Oberst, he said there's somewhat of a stamina component in a high level strongman competition. And he says, if you go in there and you're super strong like a powerlifter, you get your ass kicked. If you don't have some athleticism and some stamina, MAPS Strong, this work sessions are incredible, and they're along the lines of kind of what I'm recommending, except they're structured and they're programmed. So if you don't have that program, we'll send it to you. If you do, try it out. I think you'll really like it.
What I love about it is just people don't really consider that. This is such usable endurance and usable cardiovascular effort. Like when you're carrying things, like you have that kind of stamina you need, for everyday activities. And it definitely has this massive carryover for everything else just functionally throughout the day.
Yeah, that would be. I've got anabolic and performance and aesthetics. Strong is like the only one I don't have, but
you got it now. We'll send it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Boom.
No problem. Thanks for calling, Daniel. Yeah, that I like. Okay. So when it comes to training, of course, there's specific skills you can train for, and then there's specific, I guess, aesthetic goals and longevity goals. And when it comes to like Justin was saying, like usable stamina. The explosive kind of higher intensity stamina tends to be more usable in everyday life when you really need it, aside from being able to walk, right? So if you can walk good distances, that's probably pretty usable. The sled, heavy carries, sprints have always given me a tremendous amount of return. And they've really never, you can overdo anything, right? But they've never taken away from my strength or muscle gains. In fact, oftentimes they actually contribute to the strength and muscle gains simultaneously while I'm building stamina in those things.
Yeah, and just in terms of like doing cardio and like going long distances, like it's just there's a lot less opportunity for that. Now I know a lot of people, like their days are just crammed with a million different activities and work-related items, and so to be able to kind of be efficient with that, but also have a lot of like cardiovascular carryover, doing work sessions, to me makes the most sense.
I'd be really curious to see some studies or research around, if you actually just ran a mile every day before your workout and you less than 8 minutes,
right?
And you just keep that mile time low, so you can do it, and maybe and obviously improve on it if you're doing it every single day. That's not going to hinder you building much muscle. 8 minutes or less,
especially when you get to the point where you're conditioned. And
right, you're conditioned, and you can run that mile.
And it's just more health focused.
Yeah, right? and I think that's his main. That's what I got from this, right? Yeah. So he listened to Peter Attia and him talk about all the research around having improved VO2 max. Hey, run a mile every day. Run a mile every day before your training, and keep that mile time down. And I'm sure that your VO2 max will be in a very good place for overall longevity. It'll probably carry over into your training and support that, and only make you better at your workouts.
Yeah, other things that are overlooked are like complexes, 3 exercises put together. They used to call these giant sets in bodybuilding, but or even one, like you do barbell squats at a relatively high intensity for 20 reps. With a 45-second rest in between sets.
Your heart's gonna be screaming.
Oh yeah, you do 5 sets of that, and you're done, right? And you're gonna get a lot of work capacity. Or you string together 3 exercises that are somewhat difficult. Of course, maintain good form. You're gonna get a decent amount of stamina. Now you're not gonna get that long endurance type of stamina, which if that's your goal, then you want to train that way. But in terms of the health effects, you don't need. You can do those kind of shorter bursts of